infatuated with the in-between, the ups and downs, the curves and the rounds. I'll bring it to your city or your hometown. I'll go back in time when the feeling was fine, when funkin' was legal and it wasn't a crime. Party people lined up and down the way, a bigger celebration than your birthday. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funkin' was good. Funkin' in the city, funkin' up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. And I have seen the world pristine, funk you up in the bushes, funk you down in the trees. Now look around, all the frowns, the yellow, the white, the red and the brown. And keep in mind, it never costs a dime, 'cause funkin' is free, I remember the time. Now look today, the streets are gray, time to take it back to yesterday. Funkin' in the neighborhood, I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt the fool 'cause the funk was good. It was good in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood, I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood, funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full 'cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.
And we're live.
And we're back.
Welcome to the Underdog Journey. I'm West. This guy is David. This guy is Matt Harmon. And between the three of us, we might actually get something done today. We'll see.
No, I'm absolutely and adamant we're not getting anything done today. That's just, we can't allow that. What kind of silliness are you talking, sir?
It's true. It's true. We were pretty productive last week. It was a pretty good conversation.
It was really
about alternate social media.
Good show last week. Yeah, alternate social media. We had some pretty good conversations on alternatives to YouTube, what's the name of that?
Oh, so last week was the alternative to Instagram, which was Vero, Vero.
Yeah.
And so basically, if you're sick of, here's how the conversation started.
Living a bot-free life.
Yeah. So basically, I have this other thing that I do, this other project that I do with an Instagram account, YouTube, and it's getting pretty good following. And I was just about to break 1,000 subscribers, followers. It actually has way over, well over 1,000 now. And just as I'm right about to crack 1,000, Instagram decides that it found some suspicious activity on my account, so it locked my account. Well, when it does this, it's supposed to give you the option to send you a verification code so you can get back in and fix your account, unlock it. Well, Instagram, since basically the entire thing is run by algorithms and apparently 3 chimps in a cage somewhere, the algorithms decided, oh, we're not going to send you this verification code. And the 3 chimps in the cage, they're useless anyway, so you can't go to them. So apparently this is a very common problem. Matt's talking to my cat back here. Apparently this is a very common problem where it doesn't send you the verification code, and essentially your entire account is locked and gone forever because there's no other way to access your account. So that's what happened to me. So I decided, let's find some alternates to these social media platforms that, one, aren't going to censor everything that you say because they don't like your opinion or whatever.
Or your topic.
We're not going to get into politics, but for whatever reason, they don't like what you have to say. And 2, they might actually be helpful when you have a problem with your account versus just locking it completely and you have to start all over again. So last week we spoke about the alternate to Instagram. Today we're going to talk about the alternate to YouTube because there are a lot of people who have some complaints about YouTube. David, what are your thoughts on YouTube?
My thoughts are YouTube. I actually consume more YouTube than any other form of media, to be honest. But we have skipped over the most important part of our entire show.
It's true. It's true.
What the heck? Okay, first of all, we're gonna introduce this new segment in the show called Politics. This is our political segment, and I'm gonna drink, and Wes is gonna drink while we discuss politics.
Good thinking.
Oh, I'm not included in it.
He's got a whole bottle of bourbon back there. He's going to talk some politics.
And that concludes
that's how
that concludes our political topic tonight. Now, on that topic of drinking, what do you have over there for us tonight?
My glass is empty, my friend.
I went all through like I was a server, waiting for you to take the first bite of your meal. I'm like, how is it?
Exactly.
I'm drinking the tin cup since there's dead air.
Matt Harmon is drinking Tin Cup, which is actually a great bourbon. So anybody watching and listening, they don't pay us, but I do love Tin Cup. It's relatively inexpensive and super, super tasty stuff.
Hashtag sponsor.
But Tin Cup, if you do want to give us some money, feel free. I am drinking, since it is always Oktoberfest somewhere, I am drinking Bell's Oktoberfest.
I will tell you,
delicious
Bell's,
stuff.
Even though it's a product of Michigan, Bell's makes some really good beer.
They
do. For the IPA lovers out there, they just go gaga over the Two Hearted. I'm not an IPA guy. I'm not a fan of the Two Hearted, but Bell's makes a beer called Oberon.
Oberon is delicious.
Just phenomenal.
It's true.
Just phenomenal. Now, I have 2 things. One thing I'm not going to be drinking tonight, and then I've got some beer that's definitely not Oktoberfest. But I stumbled across this lovely 16-year-old bottle of Camelot Farms down there in Kentucky, and this one's called Citation. It's a 16-year-old. It's the single rack black barrel that they use, and it is. I've been told many good things. I got a sample of the 14 and the 15-year. They were not willing to open that expensive of a bottle to keep it on hand for regular Joe Schmoes to come in and sample. The price difference, the delta between the 14 and 15 to the 16, the 14 and 15 run pretty close together. The 16, on the other hand, is not close.
It's amazing how that extra year can make all the difference.
Yeah, that 1 year, it's a rare vintage. It's harder to come by. So, supply and demand. I mean, everybody knows it's a business channel-ish.
Look, that's it.
Supply and demand is a big thing. So, that's it. But I decided I'm not going to sit and crack that open. That's a 53% alcohol, 106 proof. Not really looking to go that route tonight. So, I mean, that's something I think I want to open when I have, some friends around and things of that nature. So I'm drinking a nice little product of Italy called Peroni.
Peroni's good beer. It's refreshing.
Now, it is. I actually really like Peroni beer.
Yeah.
The problem is, if I'm with my family, especially my wife and the male offspring, They don't like the smell of it. They think it's a very stinky, skunky smelling beer. It doesn't taste like what it smells like.
Right. That's the thing
which is
about
good.
those. That's the thing about. I think it's a lager, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
So that's the thing about Peroni, at least, is it does have kind of a skunky smell, but it tastes delicious. Like on a hot day, a cold Peroni hits the spot, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So we got, the southeast part of the United States is apparently they're having some kind of a rainstorm or something down there. And I've just got to see a little bit of what's happening. And I believe somewhere I was reading that the eye of the storm is in excess of 31 miles across. That's a big storm.
Yeah, that's a heck of a
they're
storm
getting down there.
Yeah, I was watching a video earlier where somebody was panning a camera along Tampa Bay, and typically that's 15, 20 feet deep on average. It's empty. The storm pulled the storm surge just pulled all that water back out. Now imagine what happens when that water comes back. Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. What's crazy was I just had a job offer in that area about a month and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
That would have put me in Tampa Bay, St. Pete area.
Oh, so, man.
Well,
I had 3 job offers down there.
When people when people laugh at me in the middle of the winter because I live where there's 7 feet of snow on a regular Tuesday.
Yeah.
I can shovel snow. I mean, you ain't shoveling rain, my friend.
That's true. Look,
it doesn't work like that.
I do love St. Pete's though. That area is beautiful. So
if they did, the people who reached out to me on that and was talking to me about it, they did have the right location. I don't mind Florida. Of course, everybody knows my current wife will absolutely love to get down to the House of Mouse.
Right. I'm surprised she didn't force you into that.
Yeah, if she could live inside that castle, I believe she would. But then again, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, even I would be like, all right, let's do it. That would be kind of cool. So, do you have some screens ready to pull up, or do we
I do.
Give you a moment?
We're all ready.
Okay, you got them ready. So this is something we've been talking about for the last few weeks, and we're going to continue to talk about it. And we're going to be setting a date next week. You guys will be the first to hear about it and get the date for the charitable drive we're going to be hosting over in Central Ohio for Cigars for Warriors. Cigars for Warriors is a nonprofit organization that does take donations, monetary, and of course you can donate cigars. And what they do is they distribute those cigars to men in service, the servicemen and women around the world, active duty. I'm not sure if they do the people over here, the people that are not on active duty, but I don't think they would put up much of a fight if you requested it. And there is a little button right at the top there that says request cigars.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you click that, you enter your information into that, it will take you to where you need to go, and you fill out a little bit of data there, and off you go. It'll go through its process, and it's just such an amazing. Because I'll tell you one thing for people who don't know, if you've never been to a cigar lounge, and maybe you just completely have an aversion to being around smoke in any fashion. Excuse me, I get that, I understand that. But if you go, you're going to learn something. Cigar smokers, when we love everybody. I mean, you're going to be part of that group. And, whenever I'm at a lounge anywhere I'm up here in Boston right now, but I travel through Boston, through Rhode Island, up into Maine. I've got a cigar lounge that I go to in almost every area that I visit.
Right, you
do. Because I know, and sometimes I go in, I get a ginger ale. I don't even smoke a cigar. I just sit there and talk with the guys.
Well, I'm sure they appreciate that.
Well, look, he spends money.
Yeah, buddy. I said I don't smoke a cigar. Come on, man. But yeah, I'll go out and I'll do things, and I take some of my clients. I take them out there, and trust me, when I do that, they really appreciate me on those.
Yeah. Days. Well, I mean, the great thing is just when these guys are, on base and they're away from their families, or they're overseas, or they're, in active duty somewhere, anywhere around the world. I mean, just that little bit, that taste of home, that comfort that you get from sitting around with the guys, smoking a cigar, is, I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. And
it is phenomenal. It is,
especially when these cigars came from people who care about you and want you to have that comfort when you're overseas like that. I mean, it's amazing. This organization's doing a lot of good.
It is a great thing. The guy who's the chairman of the board, CEO, or whatever his title is, I was talking to him a couple of weeks ago, and he's a Marine, not a former Marine, a retired Marine, but still a Marine. And so, I mean, he's got his heart and soul wrapped up into it. It doesn't matter if you're Space Force or Air Force or Marines or Navy, or what's that other one?
Coast Guard, jazz hands.
There he is.
Jazz hands. There you go.
I set him up because our good buddy Matt there in the background actually is former Coast Guard, and so it doesn't matter what you're in. Reach out to Cigar for Warriors, and if you're not a military member, you're not an active military member, that's okay. You can donate, and if you want to host a charity event, I'm sure these guys are on board for it. If you want to just get involved and say, hey, I want to make a monetary donation, you can do that. If you're looking to volunteer, so right here, we're going through the screens right now. You can donate the cigars directly. Hey, here's some cigars. You can donate a monetary gift. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, there's donate time. You can literally just be volunteering your time to help with this organization, which, guys, that's what charity and that's what, the volunteerism is all about. So keep it up. Keep up the great work over there, Cigars for Warriors. We're big proponents for you. And next week we will be announcing the date for our fundraiser, which will take place in Central Ohio. Hopefully this year we're going to try to get it in Q4 and see where we go. But I've got a busy schedule here to wrap out the rest of this year. And so I'm out of the country part of it. I'm in Orlando for work, and I know that some people are like, oh, you're going to go to Orlando, it's going to be fun. No, it's going to be from 6 a.m. till 2 a.m. every day. I'm going to be doing something. I don't know that I'm not going to get to see the sunshine. So,
so if somebody wants to donate a cigar to David Leffingwell while he is in active work duty,
don't send it to me. Send it to the Cigars for Warriors. Send it to somebody who actually earned it and deserves it.
Maybe not Space Force. You mentioned Space Force, and I don't think you can smoke a cigar when you're wearing an astronaut helmet. I think they frown. Unless you're Bruce Willis and you can really pull it off, I don't think they allow that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm just saying.
Then we need to found the very first Cigars on the Moon.
Cigars on the
Lounge
Moon.
on the moon.
It'll be fun. It'll be funded with Dogecoin. To the moon.
All right. Now we've gotten ridiculous.
It's just
going to be counting tangents today, by the way.
It's getting silly.
Oh, we're counting tangents.
Oh, we're counting. Okay.
So a few weeks ago, for those of you guys who don't remember, we had in our topic a reference to Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Yes, and for the longtime viewers, because this is episode 116.
116.
116. Okay, so 116 weeks in a row. Wes has been on here doing this. I did miss 2 weeks. I will take those. So I'm episode 114 for me.
Yeah, you loser.
But yeah, you slacker. But we had a discussion and it got brought up of Joe Rogan. So I kept a running tab of how many times Joe Rogan's name was brought up during that.
I don't know where we landed on that.
Yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot of Joe Rogans. I'll tell you.
Joe Rogan was
an
not on the agenda today.
Yeah. So so Matt in the background there, he's going to keep track of the tangents. Now, no, this is not a tangent. This is
a valid point, Matthew Harmon.
Valid point. It's not a tangent. This is the topic. We actually can't be the topic. We can't have a tangent because we haven't gotten to the topic yet.
Fair point.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah. Can't be lost if you don't know where you're going.
Right. We're off to a great start on this show today.
Yeah, it is. And I'm sitting here. I've got, because the Wi-Fi here is not the greatest, so I went through the Wi-Fi, the iPhone Wi-Fi, and then my personal phone Wi-Fi to try to find some combination that would function well for me. So where I'm specifically sitting, T-Mobile actually does better than Verizon. Just in case you happen to have this hotel room in the future.
There you go.
Which, shockingly enough, I've been in this hotel room, this very room, 3 times now.
The same room.
The same exact room. They
That's
keep putting
funny.
me in this room when I come over here. I've been in other rooms here too.
They
This
saved it
is
for
like
you.
my 5th or 6th times in this hotel. It's a pretty easy one to get in and out of. So
You're in Boston.
yeah, I'm in the Boston area. I'm south of Boston because that's where my business is.
I was gonna say we need to go back to Boston.
Is he still married?
Oh yes.
No.
Bring it. Get it on the calendar.
Yeah, we need to go back to Boston. Go back to the Green Dragon. A few other places we need to go while we're there, but we need to go back to
Black
Boston.
Rose. Okay, I'm going to introduce you because you haven't been there yet. I'm going to introduce you to the Black Rose because the Green Dragon's fun,
Yeah,
but nothing like the Black Rose.
pretty cool.
Black Rose, drunken Irish dancing till 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's great. It is an absolute blast. Irish car bombs nonstop.
I think you're giving me all the reasons not to go there. Who?
When you get in,
Daniel
when you
Hall?
sign up to party with Dave, you know what's in store.
Yeah, maybe I won't go back to Boston. I don't know. It sounds
I've
it
had
sounds
enough of
exhausting.
Boston.
It sounds tiring. I'm old. I need to take a nap just listening to the stories.
It's
Is
yeah.
Fake Austin?
Some of the stories I need a nap after listening.
Is,
to. I'm like, wait a minute, I did all that.
Matt wants to know if Thaniel Hall is still there.
With an F.
Faneuil Hall. I don't know what that means.
Um,
Is that a person or is that a place?
yeah,
Faneuil Hall. Apparently, it's in the north end of Boston.
north end of Boston. Okay, I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you. They have never tore anything down in Boston. They've never fixed a single road. If there was a pothole, they put a memorial up and said, "This is Paul Revere's pothole right here," and they're not fixing it. All right.
Fair point.
So here's a top tip from Traveling Dave. I have driven in all of the places that everybody goes, well, you don't know how bad traffic is because you've never done. But yes, I have.
Boston's horrible.
Or California through LA, been there, done that. Colorado, and I bring up Denver just because Denver only has one road and everybody uses it. Okay, that's it. They have one road and everybody uses it, and it sucks. I get it, but it's not terrible. Miami, where you got the people going 25 in the right-hand lane and people going 125 in the left-hand lane. It sucks when you're trying to navigate through all that stuff, but it's all right. There's a spot in North Carolina where it's exits on both sides, and you will see people crisscrossing all over the place. It's like Murder Alley or something. It's crazy, and it's not terrible. New York City. Yeah, that's kind of, everybody's like, all right, you've driven Manhattan. I've driven Manhattan many times. Downtown Manhattan, 5 o'clock rush hour. All right, you're not going anywhere in a hurry because you can't. Boston is hands down, with no questions asked, the worst spot to drive in this entire country.
It's awful.
Boston. Good to know. Good
Boston.
to know.
It was that bad.
You rode with me. It's nuts. I mean, you have to know where you're going.
You have to know
You
exactly where you're
cannot-
going.
Yes. If you double guess yourself, you're done. You missed an exit. 15 people have filled. If you're trying to be nice and give travel and safe space in front of you, can't do that.
Yep.
They'll park a semi in there, make you go around, and then you miss your exit, and
Right.
it's absolutely insane. And on
Yeah.
top of all of that, like I said, there's a pothole. They're going to put a memorial up for that pothole, and they're never going to fix it. The roads are absolutely terrible.
Great.
And, so
You should work for the
I was
tourism
driving-
board.
Yes, I really paint a great picture. It's sad because I finished that up with, I absolutely love being out here. I love Boston. I was driving out here on Monday, and I was driving just up through Boston and up to New Hampshire because I had some stuff to do up there. And I crossed the state line, and I'm like, I got rattle. I hit New Hampshire, it's like, whew, smooth as can be.
That's funny.
I'm like, well, there was a state line.
Yeah, exactly.
So what's our topic today?
So I do have a
We
different news
we
story.
have some topics.
I do have a news
You
story.
do have news
I
stories.
do, but and it's not traffic related, so that's
Something.
it's something. But so I don't know.
This is Underdog Journey, traffic on the 10s.
So I don't know if you guys are aware that NASA actually had a mission where no, this by the way, this
I'm sorry. I thought this was an update on Uranus.
It is not the update on Uranus. So a couple things. One, NASA will be sending a probe to Uranus. That is not a joke. They're actually sending a probe to Uranus. And they want the internet to name the probe to Uranus. This is not that story, though. This is kind of related because I thought this was interesting. This web page kind of looks drunk, but my kids just walked into the room, so we'll get to that in a minute. The live studio audience is here with us.
Daddy, did you make it?
All right.
And my son is not wearing a shirt, so okay. He's starting to look a lot like your son, David. He never wears a shirt.
Yeah, somebody give that kid a sandwich.
Exactly. I know. You can see every bone in his body. Locke, how you doing, buddy?
Ooh,
Catherine,
that sounds like a crispy potato chip.
Hey, what are you holding?
Hi, Catherine.
I'm holding this.
Oh, she made a heart.
What is that?
It's a
Is that for a special boy at school?
Is it your magic wand? She has your magic wand. It has
it's
a
heart
mermaid
wand.
on it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the hole for the
I
wand.
love it, Catherine. It's so cool. Locke, how was school today, buddy?
Good.
Why aren't you wearing a shirt?
It's Wacky Wednesday.
Because it's Wacky Wednesday. And you are pretty wacky. Your pants were on inside out, and you didn't have a shirt on.
Yeah. And
Oh, and Catherine is attacking the cat. Okay. Oh, boy.
That is the world's most patient cat over there.
Yeah, like, we adopted that cat, too. And any other cat in the world, I think, would just go, and, like, the kid would be torn to shreds.
Wait,
So I have seen snails. I have seen snails that are more aggressive than that cat.
That cat is the most easygoing cat in the world. And you should see the way kids just pick her up by her neck and carry her around.
Uh-oh. You're gonna be splattered with red paint from PETA out there tomorrow for making that comment.
Well, I mean in the nicest possible way. The cat loves it. If the cat didn't love it, she'd run away or hide or something. But she doesn't. So go figure. What?
So, okay, my sister just found the kitty.
Yeah, she just found the kitty.
So, Locke, are you ready to play football?
I'm not playing football. I'm playing soccer.
Of course you're
He's playing soccer.
I'm
Sorry,
not-
He's
I'm
playing
sorry,
a
you
man's
mispronounced
sport. He's
the
playing
word.
soccer.
I love football.
No, we don't watch football in this house. We have no time for that. We have no time for those shenanigans. We have soccer, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, you guys go back
So-
upstairs.
Okay. Bye.
Good night,
Goodbye.
kiddos.
Bye,
All right.
David. Bye, David.
Bye, little guy.
Oh yeah. How's your day?
Bye, Catherine.
Oh, David, he has a question for you.
Yeah. How's
All
your
right,
day? How's your day been going?
That is an amazing question. You don't get asked that a lot when you get old. People don't walk in and be like, well, how was school, David? My day has been going pretty good. I had a pretty light schedule today. I did a lot of data entry stuff that I deemed superfluous, but it pays the bills.
Oh, okay. My day's been
Mortgage
going
rates
good.
are up. Mortgage rates are up. Stock market's down. That's just the way of the world.
And I took my
Thank
dad's.
you I see.
Bye, David.
Thank you very much, Lachlan. You have a good evening.
I will.
All right.
Neither one of you guys asked me how my day was going.
We know how your day is going. It's always better when you're on this show. We know it. Hey, go upstairs, guys.
It is. I do.
And they terrorize the cat.
It is one of the things I look forward to. Wednesdays I get up, I'm like, podcast day.
Yep.
I don't have my regular cups, so I'm drinking out of these are like regular.
Just like
Look at
little
this thing. It's
Dixie
like
cups. It's basically a shot of beer.
Yeah, that's what it is. So I'm sitting here constantly just pouring beer.
Just drink out of the bottle like a man.
No, you see all that bubble? I want that bubble in here. I don't want it in my belly.
Fair point. Fair point.
Peroni is very carbonated.
It is a foamy. Yeah, it's that artificial carbonation they add. That's the only problem is the artificial. I like a natural carbonation.
Yeah.
They artificially carbonate.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they drop the tablets.
the news.
Right, so back to Uranus.
The news story is not about my anus or Uranus. It is about the NASA DART project. Have you heard of this?
I have heard of it.
For those who don't know,
it seems really cool.
DART stands for Double Asteroid Redirection Test. So, for the first time in human history, people have tried to redirect the path of an asteroid. Now, right, so this asteroid, it's actually really interesting. So this asteroid had no chance of reaching Earth. It wasn't for that.
It's not about my anus or Uranus.
David.
Yes, I was logging on.
So this asteroid.
Just at the time, you're like, it's not about my anus or Uranus.
Oh yeah. So the algorithms can have fun with that little soundbite, but anyway. So this asteroid was never going to hit Earth, or so they tell us. However, in an unrelated news story, Bruce Willis and Ben Affleck were hired by NASA for an unnamed project.
So what happened? Did they redirect the asteroid or not?
It did. It did work. It did work. Here's an interesting thing, though. I'm going to reload this.
It did make an impact.
Here's an interesting thing, though, David. Do you notice this page looks a little crooked?
Yeah. What's going on? Oh,
I'm going to reload this page. Check this out. It's actually pretty cool. So NASA, Google apparently has a lot of time on their hands because that's the kind of stuff they do. So when you do a Google search for NASA DART, the whole thing is a little crooked after a little.
That is cute.
Yeah, it was cute. It was
the
cute.
likelihood of a transneptunial object, or whatever they call these things that have these massive ellipse. What's the word I'm looking for? Orbital paths. We may have literally destroyed the Earth in 10,000 years from now by knocking this thing off course.
Well, but to be honest, if we haven't discovered better technology by 10,000 years from now, maybe we deserve to go extinct. I'm just saying.
No. NASA asked the public on the internet to name the probe to Uranus. I don't have high hopes, okay? I don't have high hopes for our survival. We're not going to make it.
On the internet.
You're allowed to say your name on the internet. Why can't you say your name?
My name for the probe.
Yeah, is it how inappropriate is it?
Whoa.
David, how brave are we feeling today?
Well, I would not say it on air. I have family that may stumble.
Fair point.
If there was some respectable person back there, say Jeffrey Dahmer or something, maybe we'd let it slip. But I've known Matt Harmon for a long time now, and I'm not sure that I'm quite brave enough just to give him carte blanche on.
It's true. It's true. Jeffrey Dahmer, I would trust to say something more appropriate.
Yeah, probe to Uranus, yes.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Fair.
And you know what? We actually pulled this up last week, and this is what got me. This is what ticked me off.
The probe to Uranus?
People were presenting. Here's what ticked me off about the probe to Uranus. People were actually providing scientific and relevant names for it.
Right.
And that is baloney. That
baloney.
Is unacceptable.
Exactly. No, look, exactly. So there is no excuse not to have the entire project riddled with jokes.
Fun with that.
There's no excuse here. So I have the story pulled up here.
Part of that.
The internet was asked to name a probe for Uranus. Here's how that went down. So near the bottom here, it actually has some suggestions. Let's see. Salus, Bode, or Bodie, whatever. Lassell, Kuiper, Tempest. So here's the problem. Whoever suggested these names and whoever made this post should immediately be kicked off the internet.
Slapped.
Yeah, this person.
You don't deserve to be on the internet.
Yeah, this person immediately upon posting this has given up all of their internet credibility. The correct answers should be Preparation H, because on the whole it feels good.
Yes.
That's what I would name it.
Yeah, maybe not. Let's hold off on that one. We'll go over Matt Harmon's suggestions after the show.
Did he write it out and show you?
He showed me on his phone. So we'll go over that after. We'll go over other suggestions on the show. But honestly, I mean, there are so many better places you can go than giving a real legitimate answer.
Yeah, what the frig, man? This is
right.
This is baloney. So all right, I think we're a little over half hour. We're about a half hour of the show. We have a 5-minute intro, and we're about half hour in. And that's usually when we try to roll out of our little dialogue that we do and then start into the meat and potatoes of the show. So today we're discussing, I think we're over to what, YouTube and Rumble?
We are. So we're talking about alternates.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Should we call it
I don't think we can actually say that. I think that guy owns the copyright on that.
Well, you'll know soon.
Does he?
He is going to
Well,
sue
all rights reserved
David
to
Leffingwell.
Bruce, all rights reserved to Bruce Buffer.
Is that his name?
Yeah, I think it's Bruce Buffer. Yeah.
All right. Well,
You don't know you don't know who says that? Come on, man. Give the guy credit. I give the guy credit. You're like, no.
He's the Ready to Rumble guy. Nobody actually knows his name. So here's the thing: the Rumble company needs to hire him as their spokesperson. That marketing writes itself. First of all,
it does.
It does. So we're talking about alternate social media, and especially alternates to YouTube, because look, who hasn't had this experience themselves, or at least heard somebody complaining about it? Somebody was demonetized, or depromoted, or even flat out kicked off of YouTube, or had their account locked or hacked. There's so many problems, whether it's with concerns about free speech or concerns about weak security. YouTube has a lot of problems, and frankly, a lot of people are starting to get fed up with it and moving on to other platforms.
They're very arrogant.
Well, I mean, look, they're a business, and I get it. It's their business. They can do with it whatever they want. However, so can the users, meaning the users don't have to be on that platform if they choose not to.
Here's to the free market.
Look, we're a business podcast, so we can say capitalism is this is what capitalism is.
Capitalism's great.
Yeah, and it's really a matter of who's bringing what to the table, and in a sales paradigm, which is what this is, the content is actually what's being brought to the table. The ad dollars are from a third party. People don't. If you have a website that's just advertising, you have a dead website. Nobody's going to that website if you have to bring something there for somebody to want to advertise. So if you just have a website, and I do this, I am absolutely guilty of this when I see tons and tons and tons of ads on the screen. I'm out. I'm done.
Right. Honestly, it's true.
It is true.
But at the same time, there's a delicate balance, because that's how these platforms make money. So
yes.
Here's to capitalism.
So I have mixed feelings on that. But the thing is, look, as far as having issues with these platforms censoring what you have to say, I recently had a problem myself. So this other project that I do is, of course, it's a pipe smoking channel.
Yeah, we call it Project Gandalf.
Yeah. So it's a pipe.
That's the internal conversation.
Project. Okay. Speaking of Gandalf, here we go. Okay.
I literally just made that. I literally just made that up.
Okay. So it is a pipe smoking channel. So on Fridays for a while, I was doing interviews, and I stopped because of my Instagram account was hacked and whatnot. But I had been doing interviews, and the last interview that I did, the live chat was automatically turned off. It was auto turned off at the time I started recording, and it gave this little message saying this video has been flagged as safe for children, so we turned off so the platform turned off the live chat. Well, live on the air, I actually went on and checked the status and the settings. It was not approved for children, specifically not approved for children. But I made the mistake of adding the word tobacco in the video description. So the algorithm said, nope, we don't like tobacco. We're going to turn this off. So they because it's about tobacco, they turned off the live chat.
And then give you a bullcrap answer as to
why
it got
turned off. And in addition, you can't monetize.
What's a man to do?
Right. So in addition, you can't monetize channels with topics that it doesn't like. You can't do a lot of things. In fact, it also deprioritizes you, meaning it's called a shadow ban. What happens is these platforms will make your channel unfindable by the average person. When you're shadow banned, the only people who can find your content are people who are already subscribed to you or are recommended by somebody who is subscribed to you. So again, tobacco has a blanket shadow ban, and you can't monetize. And they turn off things like live chat.
Yeah. So I don't want to move my phone again and look it up. And I'm operating this off 2 phones and an iPad right now. But there's a YouTube personality named Jeremy Sires. Absolutely phenomenal channel. But he segregates. He'll do a barrel and leaf, and I have a shirt that I'll occasionally wear on the show from Jeremy Sires from his barrel and leaf, and he'll do reviews of barrels and a leaf and have a cigar.
Yeah.
So he does his reviews on the bourbons, and it's on his main monetized primary channel.
Right.
But the cigar stuff goes on a secondary channel or a tertiary channel because he doesn't monetize that content.
Right, because he can't
monetize that content.
That's exactly it. Exactly.
So he cuts all of that out of his primary channel, puts it on a secondary or tertiary channel so that he can monetize that. But on Rumble, do you have to go through those hoops?
Right. You actually don't. So going over to Rumble, let's take a look. So this is the mobile version of Rumble. The thing. So that Rumble is the YouTube alternate platform that we're talking about. It's like YouTube, but it doesn't have all the restrictions.
I'm surprised we're not
Yeah.
on Rumble right now.
Well, here's the problem. So there are pros and cons to Rumble, frankly. So look, the interface almost just like YouTube. It's pretty darn close. So there's that. So on the main, home area, it's all the stuff that you subscribe to. It's not the algorithm telling you what it thinks you like. These are channels that you are subscribed to. It doesn't now. If you do want suggested videos, there's another little icon. Let me change the aspect ratio of the screen here. It's only showing part of my screen, part of my phone screen here.
Well, I'm getting the Rumble.
There we go. So when you're on the little home screen here, these are things that you're just subscribed to. Now, the little lightning bolt icon. This is where the recommendations are. It's a completely different section of the platform, right? So the entire thing isn't just the platform telling me what it thinks I should watch. It has what I want to watch, then what it thinks I should watch. That's pretty nice. That's not, I'm not being manipulated by the platform itself, which is great.
Yeah, no, not to knock our primary medium, which is Facebook for us. But the other day I was scrolling, and as you do, you just kind of thumbing through the feed or whatever they call it.
Mm-hmm.
And I started counting, and I don't remember what the count was, but basically what it came out was my whole feed was full of advertisements.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, because I don't do a lot of friending and things on that stuff. I post a lot of things that I'm like, oh, that's funny. Click done and move on with life. But I know that there's other people out there doing that too.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see them. I see what Facebook or YouTube wants me to do. Unfortunately for me, my YouTube is logged in on my primary television at home, and my son went through the Mr. Beast phase, and now my daughter is in the Mr. Beast phase. So
your daughter watches
when I
Mr. Beast.
click on it, nonstop.
That's hilarious.
Nonstop. Absolutely nonstop. It's
Hey, there you go. Congratulations.
painful.
That's funny. So, but like I
We
said,
got
there
Rumble.
are pros and cons to Rumble though. So here's the thing. So they are both monetizable, but they have different ways of monetizing, which is really interesting when you get down to it. So with YouTube, it's actually kind of a high bar to meet, especially if you're just starting out. Like, it takes some work. With YouTube, you need at least 1,000 subscribers, and you need 4,000 hours of watch time, which is a lot of watch time. It takes a long time to get there. And even then, once you reach that threshold, you'll earn $3 to $20, between $3 and $20 per 1,000 views on average. It can be a little higher, it can be a little lower, but if you have a channel and your video if you get 2,000 views on your video and you think that you've reached the moon, you might have gotten between 25 and $40 on that video. So it takes a lot to really actually make money. I mean, until you get 100,000, 200,000 subscribers with a really good following, you're probably not going to make a lot of money. That's the reason you see on YouTube, you see a lot of these creators, they'll start like a Patreon account or some other account on a different platform that allows you to donate to them. Because YouTube, especially now that they've made some changes, really doesn't pay out that much at all.
Now, on that topic, and this is not a tangent, make sure that tangent counter in the background doesn't take this as that. You should not be counting. If you are a digital creator, if you are a person starting a social media channel, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, actually not Instagram, these should not be your sole source.
Right.
They should be part of it. You should be growing. You should be trying to get sponsorships. You
Right.
should be leveraging Patreon. You should be doing all these other things that go along with it, so that when YouTube comes through and says, you know what, this week we don't like this topic and we're going to demonetize you, you don't lose a week's worth of revenue.
And that happens
on a
all
video
the time.
that may have gotten millions of views.
That happens all the time. So if anybody remembers a few years ago on YouTube, there was something called the Adpocalypse. Do you remember this, David?
No, I didn't follow what everybody called it. I probably was part of it, but I didn't follow what it was called.
Yeah, so basically, for the long time, I mean, it was actually kind of easy to make money on YouTube. You could start a channel, and as long as you get a decent following, I mean, you could make a fair living. Not super great until you got, well over 1 million followers, but I mean, you could make a decent living. And then all of a sudden, YouTube changed their algorithm to be more advertiser friendly, less creator friendly, and it was called the Adpocalypse. Google it, honestly. And I mean, YouTubers who this was their entire life, they quit their day jobs. They built their entire life around YouTube, and overnight, without warning, their entire source of revenue dried up. They had nothing because they discovered they were using a topic or using content or whatever that they couldn't monetize anymore. And that's just it. There was a website called, what was the name of the website? I'll think of it later. There was a website that was all about good news. I'll get the name later. It was about good news and spreading daily cheer and stuff like that. And their main source of income for this website was Facebook. And their Facebook following was through the roof. And they were great. And they were a 7-8 figure company. I mean, they were doing really, really well with just social media, mainly reaching out through Facebook. And through one of Facebook's many, many unannounced updates, they changed the algorithm for these business pages and the monetization and the ads. And guess what? Overnight, with zero warning, they went from millions of views to thousands of views. Not tens of thousands, thousands of views. And they went bankrupt within days. And that's the thing. When you put all your eggs in your social media basket, if you don't have a backup, it's over. Just like my Instagram page, my Instagram account that I was just reaching over just about. I mean, I was like one follower away from hitting that 1,000 mark. My account got hacked. I got locked out. I had to start all over again. That's one of the reasons why we're exploring social media alternates right now, because guess what?
Yeah.
You should be posting. If you're posting on YouTube, you should also be posting on Rumble, on Vimeo. If you're posting on Instagram, you should also be posting on Vero, on, a number of different places. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Because here's another thing. If that is the only place that you store your content, if you post it and then you just delete the hard copy from your phone or your laptop and you get locked out of your account, it's pretty much gone forever. It's gone. There's nothing you can do about it.
And when Joe Rogan went over to Spotify, they didn't just buy him from that day forward.
Right.
He took that catalog with him.
Right. And that's another part of it.
The catalog has value.
Right, and that kind of goes into something we're going to talk about here with Rumble's monetization, which is different from YouTube's. So again, YouTube, you need a minimum of 1,000 subscribers, and you need a minimum of 4,000 hours of watch time, okay? Rumble is a little bit different. There's actually a different types of accounts that you can sign up for. So the first, obviously, is a free account. You can post your videos on YouTube, or on Rumble, rather, and let's say that you want to monetize those videos. Unlike YouTube, Rumble actually has instant monetization, which is really interesting. And if you're approved to monetize for this instant monetization, you can make $50 just upfront, and upwards of, sky's the limit based on how good your video is, how many views it gets. However, you need to create the content to be able to do that. But with the free account, you need to know when you monetize, Rumble does keep 60% of the ad revenue which is fine. You're still getting 40% on basically just creating a piece of content. And depending on how good your video is, the topic, things like that, you can make anywhere between 50 and sky's the limit. Mr. Beast, I'm sure, would make much more than I would.
I'm gonna press pause. I'm gonna press pause here. Again, not a tangent. So when you have the people going, you're only getting 40%. Think about what you do in your daily 9 to 5. Let's go a step further and say you own a business that's you're selling bottled water.
Mm-hmm.
There's bottled water. We're framed different here. You're selling bottled water. Do you think you're walking away with a 40% here?
Well, look,
you most certainly are not.
Well, look, let's say
40% on your work product is phenomenal return on investment.
Look, on YouTube,
in this scenario,
on YouTube, you're making between $3 and $20 per 1,000 views. In many more cases, it's closer to the 3 than the 20. Do you think that is more than 40% that you're taking home from YouTube? I doubt it. YouTube is definitely taking more than 60%.
I would sell tobacco.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd eat a pickle like that. It sounds delicious. So that's the free account, though. That's the free. You can, and that's the thing. You can actually monetize a free account. But there are other account types on Rumble, and we'll run through those real quick. Well, so here's the problem. You can't. So I have a free account with Rumble right now. I'm not monetizing. I have a free account. You can't live stream to the free account, and we'll eventually start.
That hoses us.
But here's the thing. They'll change it. They will. Rumble right now is... Some of these numbers might seem skewed a little bit in weird ways. But here's the thing. It's a relatively new platform. They are still growing. And as they grow into themselves, the interface is going to change. And it'll become more user-friendly. And they'll add more things like live streaming. But here's the thing. With a smaller company, you have to understand. They have fewer servers in fewer locations. They have to be able to fund what they're currently doing, and if they ever want to get to a place where they can really compete with YouTube, they need to charge for things. So I get it. I get it. So there's the free account. There's also the publisher account. And with the publisher account, Rumble will actually manage your videos. So your videos will appear on Rumble, and Rumble can share your videos to other platforms, right? So basically, they have the license to your content, which is, I mean, look, it's fine. However, here's the good part. You might say, I don't want somebody else managing my content. I make it. I want to own it. But here's the thing. If you want to monetize, Rumble will pay you 90% of that ad revenue. So you're jumping from 40% up to 90%. And here's the thing. If your content is good, guess what? It will get shared more. And Rumble will actually share your video out to YouTube. It will share it out to other platforms like MTV, Xbox, Yahoo, MSN. They have these contracts in place.
Are those all platforms?
MTV?
There are places that will link back to view the thing.
Well, so they'll link out. In addition, those other platforms will play your content with ads on it, and Rumble will receive 10% or a fraction of that 10%, and you will receive 90%. So look, if you're creating valuable content and you're receiving 90%, I don't think it's so bad that Rumble manages it, because they want to make their as big a cut of that 10% as possible. So they want you to do well. So it may seem weird to let a different platform own essentially the rights to your video content, but look, you're making 90% of that ad revenue, which is, you're not going to find that deal anyplace else.
No, you're not. You're not. And that's what, like, their entry. That's like their lower end, right? I'm sitting here looking at their.
Well, so there's the free account. There's the publisher account, which I just mentioned.
Yeah.
There's a step above that.
The publisher account.
A step above that is the business account. So the business account, you actually pay. Unlike the free and the publisher account, the business account, you actually pay $25 a month. But with that, you also get live streaming. You get ad-free viewing, which is, I mean, it's fine if you really hate ads, I guess. And in addition, it gives you access to other free assets. It gives you, free to you because you're paying $25. It gives you access to other assets like stock footage, stock audio, things that you can use. It gives you copyrighted content that you can add to your videos, which is nice. So look, if you have a business and you want that good platform that will help you develop and distribute your videos, that's a good way to go. In addition, with the business account, Rumble doesn't actually own distribution rights like it does with the publisher account. So you still hold all of those rights. You can use their platform to develop your videos, and you can share them out any place you want. But you're paying that $25 a month. So, I mean, it's give and take. Eventually, David, I think we will sign up for a business account because I do want to live stream to Rumble. But right now, it's just not where we sit.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in. Let's do it next week.
$25 a month? We'll talk about it.
$25 a month. $25 a month is nothing, man. $25 a month is a good investment.
It is. It's not bad.
So think of the Beatles versus Pearl Jam. Everybody knows the Beatles, but their catalog was owned by a label, and they didn't have control of it. Now I think they finally have a chance to get some of it back. I'm not sure exactly where it stood. I know Michael Jackson actually owned it for a while. But, people like Pearl Jam never went that route and maintained control of their content, their creation, their music throughout. So there's for Mr. Bean Counter in the background there, this is not a tangent. This is right down the alley of what we're talking about.
Yeah. No, totally.
So this could be my new platform for my new French fry podcast.
I'm telling you, there's an audience out there for
you.
You need to start a French fry podcast. Yes.
Okay, but here's the thing, bro. I want to see you making French fries.
Oh yeah, you need to.
I want to see.
Eat fries and
little crystals of salt shaking on these crinkle cut fries. And
you need to show
in half. Oh, I'd watch that.
You need to show the proper way to make sweet potato fries.
Type of French fry.
Because I love sweet potato fries, but too many places don't cook them right, so they're not crispy. They're flimsy and they're wet. I want a good crispy.
I can't take you serious anymore, Wes. I can't take you serious anymore.
I love sweet potato fries, but they need to be crispy. Crispy.
Came with
mouth.
Ooh, good call. Good call. I like it. Now that's a tangent. Now we're talking a tangent. Okay, so
that's
Rumble.
His tangent, not mine, though.
That's true.
It's not relevant.
So look. So with Rumble, there's the free account. There's the publisher account, which is also free, but Rumble gets distribution rights, and you get 90% of the ad revenue. Business account costs $25, but you get all the benefits of Rumble's distribution. You get to keep the rights to the distribution rights to your own video, even though they can distribute for you if you so choose. But again, $25 a month. Then there is the personal account, which is interesting because there are people making businesses out of the personal account, and I'll tell you how. Here's the personal account. Basically, all of your videos are private, except for people you share it with. Which YouTube has this as similar setting where you can actually, keep a video private and you share out the link. But you can actually
which I've used.
Right. But in Rumble, you can actually have a circle of friends or subscribers. And only they will be able to see these videos. And here's how some people are making accounts. There are some people who produce content which they monetize. I won't go into the types of content they're producing. I'll let you use your imagination. And what they're doing is they'll create a free Patreon account for themselves. So they have a Patreon account they're not paying for, and they have a personal Rumble account. Your shoes? Are you telling us shoes, David? What's happening here? Soles? Toes?
I was just putting my feet on the screen so that in case somebody wanted to send us money for looking at feet, they could.
No, nobody's paying to look at your feet, David. People would pay you not to look at your feet.
I have sexy feet.
So here's the thing. So some people are setting
that,
up
sir, is a tangent. There's number one.
Some people are setting up. Some people are setting up a Patreon account where they can collect money from followers. They then get access to. Then they get access to the personal account on Rumble. And so there are people monetizing this. It costs them $0. They have the whole thing set up for them. So there is something for everybody. Rumble's actually a very good platform. There are pros and cons, though. There are pros and cons. So we can go through that list.
Everything has pros and cons.
I'm going to set up a Patreon account as to why my head's still numb.
Do you know what Patreon is?
Well, yeah, it's where you go to pay money to watch, woohoo videos.
Not really. Okay. I mean, maybe. Not really. Okay. So the pros of.
Hey, can we kill? Do we need to have this Rumble thing in the middle? Can we kill it?
You don't want to see the You don't want to see the rumbles.
Yeah, because I keep shifting from side to side, and I'm on this.
You're all over the place, David. And plus people couldn't see. People couldn't see Matt Harmon, so people need to see Matt Harmon.
Yeah,
back there.
people. I mean, I'm getting text messages like, "Hey, can you show more Matt Harmon?"
We get that message all the time.
I got literally nuns of people telling me that.
Literally tens of no people. So
yeah, literally nuns of people.
So the pros of using Rumble, like we said, it's a great platform for monetization. I think the monetization is actually a lot easier to understand. It seems like there's more steps, but in general, it's a lot easier to understand than YouTube's. It's a lot easier to break that barrier, frankly. One of the things about Rumble right now that's a pro is it's an up-and-coming platform, meaning it's actually going to be a lot easier for you to find a subscriber base in a specific niche, right? With YouTube, everybody's on there. Everybody and their brother's on YouTube and has multiple accounts. If you want to make it big, it's really hard to break through sometimes. Rumble, lower barrier to entry. So definitely recommendable. They have an editor. Next thing is they have an editor that will help you edit your videos. YouTube kind of has something like that on their area where you upload the videos and your channel and stuff. Yeah, but it's not really intuitive. It's not very good.
There is a YouTube creator website.
Yeah, that kind of helps you, but it's not super good. Rumbles is actually pretty good. It helps you edit the audio and the video, and it has really good editing features. That's all built in with all account types. In addition, it has publisher account types where you can actually push your video out to other platforms. Now, if you choose the account type, which one is it? If you choose the publisher account type, it will push these videos out for you. But if you have any of the other three account types, you can push your videos out any way that you like using their social media integration, which, frankly, I think is actually better than YouTube's, which is nice. And the final pro to Rumble is they don't limit your speech. Look, whether it's political, whether it's strictly topic-based, like, tobacco pipes, they're not going to limit your speech. There's no algorithm to say, oh, we don't allow you to talk about that. There's an election going on, and you think that your voice is being throttled. Guess what? They're not going to do that. So that, in my opinion, is a big pro. I think that's very, very good, and I think YouTube will start to feel that specifically.
I hope they start to feel things.
But there are cons.
They will.
But there are cons to Rumble.
Very good name.
Rumble?
It's not catchy.
Well, all the good URLs are taken, frankly. What are they going to go with? The Matt platform?
I already own Matt.com. It doesn't matter.
I'm not sending it for Matt. It's not happening. So the biggest and most obvious con to Rumble right now is the subscriber base is significantly lower, right?
Yes.
While the barrier to entry is way lower, part of that is because the subscriber base is way, way, way massively lower. But it's a growing platform. Yeah.
It is a growing platform. And I got to tell you, this applies to almost if you're going to invest your money in a stock.
Buy low, sell high.
Buy low, sell. Exactly. You knew where I was going. Buy low, sell high. Get in early. You talk about getting in on the ground floor.
Right.
All right. If the sky's the limit, if you get in on the 50th floor, which is probably where Rumble is at the moment, and it's going to go to 1,000 floors in the next 2 years, 50's not so bad.
Well, look,
Get the frig in.
Think about it this way. How many people wish they could get in on producing content for YouTube when it was brand new?
I do.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to have done it.
Dude.
I wish I'd done it.
We would be retired producing content in Fiji right now.
I like Fiji.
That's my point. Because we would have that much money. If we could get in early producing content on YouTube in the early days, it'd be a different world for us right now.
I'm surprised we're not
Rumble is right now where YouTube is when Google first bought the thing.
Yeah. I mean, you and I, we only split like $72 million a month off of our YouTube and Facebook
Yeah, and
revenue.
who can live off of a mere $36 million a month?
I should have picked an even number to make it easy to do the math for you.
Like quite a bit of that.
If we're gonna make up stuff, I should have made up something that would have made it.
Yeah, don't make me do math in my head while I'm speaking.
All right. Here we go again. We're gonna back up. And you and I, we live off a mere split of $80 million a month.
And who can live off of a mere $35.7 million a month? Nobody can live off of that.
That's 40. What are you talking? I made it easy.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
All right, one more time.
He's taking 4. You weren't counting taxes, David.
3.5. Okay, I wasn't taking math.
All right, so that's a tangent. So tangent. Okay. But the point is the subscriber base is way lower. So that is a con, but it's also a pro because the barrier to entry to get to build that audience from the ground up, from grassroots, is very, very high. So I don't necessarily consider that all con, but that is a con.
I wouldn't either. I would look at it, and because it's just the type of person I am, I'm going to look at that as a pro.
Mm-hmm.
Because my route to monetization, my route to equity is much shorter. I am not in the den, that's the clatter.
Right.
For those of you who don't speak Old English, I'm not caught up in that. I'm not lost in the hashtags.
Right.
Crap, I was supposed to say hash browns. Sorry. In the script, I'm sorry. In the script, it says I'm supposed to say hash browns. I'm not lost in the hashtags. So, yeah, some people may. It's glass half full, glass half empty. How do you want to look at it?
Right.
It can go either way. So, is there a lower number of subscribers? Yes. Do you have a greater potential? Also, yes.
I hate it when people.
Neither one of them's wrong.
Right. So yeah, exactly. So there are other cons right now. Like I said, it's a smaller platform. Their technology base is not nearly what YouTube's is, obviously. So some of the complaints around Rumble right now is there can be lag on the platform, and the upload speeds are apparently a lot slower rather than YouTube. So look, it's not the end of the world, but it will take a little longer to upload your videos. Fine. Look, whatever. And exactly, that's how it was with YouTube in the beginning. The third con is the licensing options. If you have a publisher account,
so dark, the con of man.
Con.
So we had 2 movie references right there. So we had Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, and we had the Da Vinci Code in there, both of them. So
that's how we roll.
That's 2. We're going to take those 2 movie references away from our total of tangents, and now we're back down to 4.
It's true. We're owed for that. So I think the explanation of the movies might be a tangent in itself, but that's getting a little meta, and we won't talk about Facebook today. But
tangent inside of a tangent.
I don't even know how to count.
It's like an onion. So the licensing options can be kind of a con if you don't understand them. If you have, like I said, if you have a publisher account, yeah, you can get 90% of your ad revenue. But like I said, Rumble keeps distribution rights of that content that you publish. Now, I don't think anybody has ever brought up a legal issue if they publish the content to both Rumble and YouTube simultaneously. I don't think there's been a case where Rumble comes back to a person and says, you got to take that off YouTube. We own that. It'll come eventually. That hasn't happened yet to my knowledge.
It's going to happen. But also remember this. When you go to a photographer, hey, we happen to have a photographer sitting right behind you right now. When you do a set or a photo shoot, that product, even though it's a picture of me or West or a cat, the actual product belongs to Matt.
Right.
So
right.
It's kind of a similar thing. So you're already into this scenario where other people may own content that is of you.
Right.
Not necessarily created by you, but it's still of you. So this is not a huge stretch And if you're comfortable with it, then that's the account for you. You've got no money invested and you're receiving 90%.
Right. Exactly.
90%.
So look. So and 90% is nothing to scoff at. Look, if YouTube creators could get 90% of their ad revenue, they'd be through the moon. I mean, they'd over the moon. They'd be might be through the moon. I don't know, but they'd be really happy. Is what I'm trying to say. So it's
we could have our own NASA
probe to
Star
Uranus
Trek thing smashing. I was avoiding that one. I was going with a dart. I was going with dart this week because
nobody wants a dart to Uranus, David. Nobody wants a dart to Uranus. That should have been the name of the probe to Uranus, Dart.
I wanted to drag us back on topic.
Yes.
Then the very first words out of my mouth were going to be Rumble.
The very first thing that came out of your mouth was Uranus.
You see what I have to work with here, right? I gotta try to stay serious.
See, this is why we can never. This is the reason we can never work for NASA, David. This is it right here. This is the only reason.
So here is, we've talked a lot. What time are we looking at here? It's 8:12. So
it's fine. We've got
more. We've got more, and we might touch upon a little bit more. But I will tell you this: here's the things that I've been looking into for the Underdog Journey. Right here it is.
Okay.
Audio broadcast on radio. I've been looking into that. I have also been looking into PBS broadcast live of the Underdog Journey on Wednesdays.
Yeah. Look, I think that'd be awesome. We could do public access. We could be the next. We could be the next Wayne and Garth.
We should be. Swing.
So Nicole Leffingwell says, I'm not allowed to upload pictures to my business page that were taken by Disney PhotoPass photographers because it's not my picture, which is exactly what you were saying, David.
Exactly, yes.
Nikki Leffingwell is a wise lady, and I think she's on to something.
She married me, so I mean, she married me.
Look,
her
nobody's perfect.
Really started strong.
Nobody's perfect. She's always had low standards. Nikki, I'm sorry.
Let me throw a tangent in myself because I think I know a way of instantly boosting your ratings.
Okay.
I think that if you advertise that I'm going to do a cartwheel because I've never done one, I think that people would tune in to watch a 53-year-old man do his first cartwheel.
Who wants to tune in to see a 53-year-old man break his hip? We might make some money on that.
No. If we're going to do this, you're at this level. I think we can take it to that level.
I really think
and
so.
I say what we do is if we're going to do this, we turn it into a fundraiser. We pick a good quality charity to put it to, and we all three have to do a cartwheel. So we've got a ginger. We've got a ginger who notoriously they're not sporty, right?
No.
There's
nothing athletic about me.
We've got great granddad in the background wearing his flannels, his plaid, like he's a freaking lumberjack. And then you got Fatty McPatterson over here. I'm telling you, this is some quality hilarity that can happen.
It's true.
How would you like to see three people break their hip?
I would take 90% of that ad revenue if I could speak.
I think it'd be good.
Be the chance to get Hostess on as a sponsor.
It's true. A bunch of ding dongs trying to do
hashtag ding dong.
Hashtag ding dong. A bunch of ding dongs trying to do cartwheels, and that's how we all died. That was the end of the Underdog Journey.
Exactly. Oh, it could be a good time. Could be a good time.
So here's the thing. If anybody's ever been frustrated with YouTube, and I know we're streaming live on YouTube right now. Look, I know you're watching. If you've been frustrated with YouTube, check out Rumble. Just give it a try. Look, the platform is young. It's growing. Yeah, there are a few gripes. There are a few nitpicky things you could say about it. But the fact that you won't get blocked because of you use this keyword. I mean, there are still certain words that we can't use, David, because we'll be shut down.
Oh, what are those keywords?
We'll talk about those later. But there are certain things that you can't say. Remember, we
will not be talking about those words.
If you remember, during 2020, there were a list of things, topics, and specific words that you could not use, or you would be shut down on every platform.
2020, 2021, we had issues into 2021 on that.
Right, and a lot of that's just now starting to come back.
Yeah, that's why we came up with the term "global plagues, nipples of death." You know, when we referred to the incident that happened, everything that went through, we referred to all of it to global plague sniffles of death. Why? It had nothing to do with any algorithm, and it left us alone. So we didn't get deprioritized. We left alone. So we had, I think, three instances of other people. Actually, I think you did it once.
I did it once.
And there were two other people that we had on the show that used the C word, global plague sniffles of death.
That was me.
And all three of those videos took a hit.
Right, it's true.
All
It's
three
true.
of those videos had a dip.
Well, and David, look, do you remember the time we were speaking about a certain Facebook controversy?
I'm right down the road from Cambridge, Massachusetts, right now.
Don't even say what the name of that town, because Facebook will notice, and Mark Zuckerberg is right in there.
I'm near Harvard.
And look, dude, we know Zuckerberg. We hang out with him every weekend. We know he's sitting there with his finger right above that button that will immediately kick you off the platform.
He is a great guy.
Yeah. You hang with him. I don't chill with robot aliens, okay?
Look, I watch a lot of
wait.
sci-fi, so I can handle
it.
it.
A couple weeks ago and told everybody he's not a robot or an alien. So we're cool.
Well, look, and here's the thing. Just like, if you have to tell people that you're not a robot alien, you probably are a robot alien.
But to be honest, okay, so let's look at this.
Wasn't there a line in Game of Thrones where, like, if you have to tell people I'm the king, you're not a very good king? If you have to tell people you're not a robot alien, you probably are a robot alien.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna take us a different route. Can you imagine having to actually address that question?
Right. Nobody's legitimately ever asked me, am I a robot alien? And look, if I might actually just say, sure, why not?
Maybe.
That'd be awesome. I think that would be super cool if I were a robot alien or an alien robot. One of the two. Or both.
I'm a dorky, introverted nerd. That's what I am. I mean, I might be a robot, but I don't know.
I'm an introverted nerd. I really want to be an alien and or a robot.
Yes.
That's my goal in life.
Yes. But could you actually imagine being one of the richest people in the world, one of the richest people and most successful people in the world, and having to actually address that question? Okay, I couldn't imagine being me, Slumdog Dave, having to address that question.
Yeah. Well, that's the goal.
I have to say about the reports that you are actually, in fact, a robot.
You know, he should have played that up. He should have like stopped, looked like this, like both ways, and like just sprinted off the.
No. What he should do is just like here and move his eyes side to side, downloading. I am in fact not a robot.
Or or something like query not accepted. Please ask again. I don't know, something along those lines. Nikki
Error
posted
404 not found.
So Nicole Leffingwell's making a T-shirt that says #introvert_nerd, which I would buy that T-shirt in a minute.
She is an introvert, but she is not a nerd.
I think she's talking about you, David.
She is. Yes, I'm very introverted. Everybody knows.
Can't
that
you
about
tell?
me.
Everybody knows David says, "Oh, David's so introverted. He never speaks. We almost never hear his voice."
All right, so I'm talking with a person in Matt's favorite world of people today, and they came on. They had a new person in a role, and they're trying to introduce us all to a team and everything, and they're talking about personality tests. So I took one. I took one with the company I'm with now, and it says, "Will not." This is gold right here. This is freaking gold.
Okay.
They said most likely will not state his point of view. And
this was supposed to be about you? This was about you?
About me.
Yeah,
no. Not my boss. My boss's boss calls me and says, "Dave, I can no longer trust these things."
Right, exactly. That's hilarious.
I can't stand next to you for 3 seconds without you telling me what the hell you think.
Oh, I talk to people all the time about between this and my other YouTube thing that I do. And they're like, "Oh yeah. I could never go online and be such an extrovert like you are." And I'm like, "You have never spoken to me in person outside of this realm in your life, because David, you know this. I'm actually very quiet, and I'm not outgoing at all."
No,
like at all.
So the three of us, in lodge, and we're all sitting like, Wes, man, and he's in a room that he's the boss, man. Everybody bows down to him. We sacrifice like 17 goats
The
every
one
night.
thing everybody says is, "Speak up, we can't hear you." I'm like,
Speak up, we can't hear you, man.
what are you saying, man?
I'm sitting over in the chair on the other side, just spouting out how those can be.
Well, I think I should do more NPR voices. So I think what was happening I was doing my NPR. And,
next week I'm actually taking
was doing some of this.
PTO. I'm off all next week. So I think next week we should do something just ridiculously stupid on the show.
Wait, how is that different from what we typically do?
It's not. I'm just, I'm trying to act like we're planning it.
Oh, we're planning the next stupid thing that we do. Okay, that's fair.
Yes.
We need to wrap up because I've got so many inappropriate things I need to say.
Yeah, go figure. Matt Harmon has inappropriate things to say. We better wrap up.
He's definitely not wrong. It's 8:22. We've been on here for
You're at my house. You better
17 minutes.
All right. Well, look.
Hour
Honestly,
17 minutes. There's some good basically what the last week, this week, and I believe we're going to spill over even into next week. And the topic of those, there are some alternatives to the social media platforms that you know and love. We all love Facebook. Now, not as much as and this is a business hit. We've talked about it many times. If you give us MySpace back in its old platform with a little bit of new tech to it, even, dude, we're abandoning Facebook right now.
My MySpace page was legendary. My MySpace page. I added so many Flash games. I built games in Flash specifically so I could have games. You could go on and you could play Pac-Man on my page. You could go on and play Sonic the Hedgehog on my game or Mario Brothers.
Oh my Lord!
On my MySpace, using your keyboard, you could play Mario Brothers on my MySpace. So whoever owns MySpace right now, you're missing out on a gold mine. A gold mine.
Yeah, absolutely nuts. So I know that, and this is a bit of a tangent. So I'll let you count it as number 11. Even Facebook now is allowing you to put reels or something like that with some music to it.
Yep.
But
people are sick of reels.
It's not going far. It's not going far enough. Yeah, reels. I'm done.
People are getting sick of it.
The short video stuff. You know what I want? I want to go back. When I go to somebody's page, I want to know about it. I want to see it. And as I scroll through my own page, but when I click on somebody else's page, I want to see their representation. I want to hear their representation, and I want to play freaking Mario. That's what I want.
Honestly,
I want enough information to blackmail.
And that too. So look, we're going to continue talking about these alternate social media platforms. Last week we spoke about Vero. Go to Vero. Honestly, check it out. It's basically going to be the new Instagram without all the ads. Nikki Leffingwell says she wants the original Instagram back. Nikki, what was so good about the original Instagram? I know Vero doesn't have all the algorithms that Instagram does that just clog up your stream. Good thing about Vero that I really love is it has a linear timeline, right? The versus mismatching. You could see something from 2 days ago next to something that was just posted. It makes no sense.
Yes.
So that's Vero.
Give me linear.
That's Vero. We spoke about that last week. Go back and check out that video. This week was Rumble.
Allow me to select. So Facebook, Instagram, all of them, allow me to select. Do I want time linear? Do I want relevant, or do I want algorithm?
Right.
Excuse me. You give me those options. I still want old Facebook back. But you give me those options, I'm happy.
Right, honestly. So look, we're going to continue to harp about this. Next week, I think, is going to be the third and final week. Nikki Leffingwell says, yes, linear timeline, no freaking reels. Yeah, people are getting sick of the reels. I think the majority of people are getting tired of the whole TikTok fad that's happening right now. We can go on more about the stats on that next week. But
okay,
I totally agree, Nikki.
Just red-blooded guy right here, man of man. I am sick and tired of seeing wait till the end, and all it is a girl trying to be liked for body parts.
Oh yeah, these dumb. Oh well, that's in the title. There's nothing that
Oh.
the algorithm can really do much about that. Where it says wait till the end, and then you get to the end and nothing happens.
Nothing.
Nothing. I hate that. First of all, I hate that.
It's other things and all this stuff. I was like, if you're going to be a curator, and this is a huge, huge word here we're using, a curator of your content,
That's not a big word.
curate that shit right off of this show.
Right. So
There's no place for it.
that's
All
actually a
it
different
does is
show.
have a link. Yeah.
I think David, what you're talking about is
Yes.
is clickbait and the moderation of clickbait, which I think we could do a whole show just on clickbait. Frankly.
Yes. Which we actually have done a show on clickbait in the
Oh,
past.
we could do another show on clickbait. But
We
you're right.
could, and we could do a whole show on clickbait in the reels, because if you look at the links that are in these reels, and I scroll through and I get in these crazy links, and I'm a fat guy, so it sends me a lot of food stuff. But it does give me other things as well, and I look at the links, and some of the links are, I can see what they are and where they're going. And then you get the link that feeds you to a link, which usually starts with LY, which we'll talk about that at a time in the future as well, when sometimes you have a link that's actually too big to kind of just post. So in order to do that, what you do is you upload that link, and it creates a smaller link, and that's the link that you post. So that's actually a tactic that you can use as well.
Mhm.
And I think for content, like if you're in a website or something like that, we should do a show on content delivery or content access that allows you to use things like OneDrive, Google Docs, and things of that nature, and how to do that. So that's
Oh yeah, that's gonna be good.
But
That's gonna be good.
next week we're still gonna be talking about alternatives to the social media platforms you love and hate at the same breath.
And we have a whole list and pros and cons to go along with that. So, look, if you have anything that you'd like to see us talk about, let us know in the comments, and we will totally get to that. And look, in the meantime, I've been Wes. This guy's been David. This guy's been Matt Harmon, falling asleep on my couch. And we will see you guys next time.
the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood. Funkin' up the neighborhood. I felt full cause the funkin' was good. Funk you in the city, funk you up in the woods. Funkin' up the neighborhood.